The Huddersfield grooming gang was a group of men who were convicted of sexual offences against girls in Huddersfield, West Yorkshire. It was the largest gang ever convicted for sex abuse in the United Kingdom. The offences took place between 2004 and 2011, and the men were charged following the Operation Tendency inquiry by the police. The trials began in April 2017, and 20 men were convicted in 2018, in 3 separate trials. Since then, further men have been convicted, in a series of trials, bringing the total number of men convicted to 35 by April 2020 for a total of 380 years. At one of the trials, the founder of the English Defence League, Tommy Robinson, filmed the defendants and received a 13-month jail sentence for contempt of court. In May 2018, this was overturned, and a 9-month sentence in July 2019 was given in a retrial. A report released in June 2019 indicated that 15 of the 22 females involved were known to Children's Services. Although there was sufficient evidence that 2 girls were being sexually exploited, one as early as 2007, no action was taken by the Kirklees Children's Services. 27 men were accused of sexual offences, including rape and trafficking against 18 girls, aged between 11 and 17, with 2 further women accused of child neglect. Due to the large number of defendants, the court proceedings against them were conducted in 3 separate trials. Reporting restrictions on the trial were imposed in November 2017 under the 1981 Contempt of Court Act to avoid prejudice on subsequent trials. However, the restrictions on reporting was criticized by the far right, who claimed that it was a cover-up as its perpetrators were Asian and Muslims and that it amounted to state censorship. 20 men were convicted of rape and abuse against 15 girls in October of 2018. The men were convicted of more than 120 offences against 15 girls, and jailed for a total of 221 years. Reporting restrictions on the trials were partially lifted in October 2018. 16 of the gang were sentenced in October 2018, the remaining 4 were sentenced in November 2018. One of the convicted gang members, Faisal Nadeem, appealed against the sentence, arguing that Robinson's video had prejudiced the trial, but his permission to appeal was refused by a Court of Appeal judge. 6 separate trials had been held by February 2020, with 34 men convicted in total. Another man was convicted in April 2020. The first 20 men convicted are all of Asian, mainly Pakistani origin. Their ringleader was Amer Singh Dhaliwal, a British Indian, who converted to Sikhism in 2013. One of the grooming gang members, Sajid Hussain, fled during the trial and was sentenced in his absence. 2 more men were sentenced in June 2019. Muhammad Akram was previously convicted, and had his sentence increased whilst Usman Khalid was sentenced to 5 years. A further 5 men were jailed in November 2019 under Operation Tendency. 3 of the men were not named for legal reasons, whilst Umar Zaman fled to Pakistan, and was sentenced in his absence. 7 more men were convicted in February 2020. A man was convicted in April 2020 along with another previously unnamed man, Shakil Hussain, who was sentenced to a further 12 months. After the reporting restrictions were lifted, the Conservative Home Secretary sent out a tweet stating, "These sick Asian paedophiles are finally facing justice. I want to commend the bravery of the victims. For too long, they were ignored. Not on my watch. There will be no no-go areas." His referencing of the ethnic heritage of the offenders was strongly condemned by senior Labour politicians, Diane Abbott, Sadiq Khan, and David Lammy, who alleged that he was seeking to pin the blame on one group and pandering to the toxic racist agenda of the far right. In a later interview with Sky News, Javid accused his critics of being oversensitive and refused to apologize or withdraw his comment, saying, "When I made that comment I was stating the facts, And the sad truth is that if you look at recent high-profile convictions of gang-based child sexual exploitation, there is a majority of people that come from Pakistani heritage backgrounds. That's plain for everyone to see.